I am drowning, barely surviving, not being able to make repairs because the house is now falling apart.
And I did not really gauge all the maintenance that it took to take care of a house.
Hey everybody, if you're new to this channel, I'm Cynara Anderson. I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube about homeowners who are suffering from home buyer's remorse. Home buyer's remorse is the regret or guilt after purchasing a home. Turns out a significant percentage of home buyers feel this way, and it's for a variety of reasons. But one reason has me wondering, why did you buy? And that reason is maintenance and repairs needed. Really? There's this video?
I am selling my house and I'm getting ready to move back with my parents yet again. I am single. I do have a 9-to-5 job where it does not pay me nearly enough to cover the bills. And I've had this house for about 3 years now, and I am just exhausted. I am drowning, barely surviving, not being able to make repairs because the house is now falling apart, and I have no money in my savings to fix it. I have been saving for the past 3 years. All I've been doing is working and going straight home. I don't go out. I don't spend money on like coffee or anything. I try to save as much money as possible so I could get some money to make repairs for this house to make it nice and comfortable and livable. But I am at my wit's end now, and I'm just tired. I honestly want to leave my job, my 9-to-5 job that's not paying me well enough to even cover the bills. I'm exhausted. I want to leave, but then I'm stuck with this house, and I just don't want any of it anymore. So I'm selling it. I don't know what my plans are going to be after I sell my house and maybe leave this 9-to-5 job that I'm at. But we're just going to figure it out. So I'm going to sell my house and go back to living with my parents, unfortunately.
And this video,
I'm going to keep it 100%. Home ownership is not what I expected it to be. Honestly, if I had my time back, I would never in a million years have bought a condo. I regret it so much. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. Renting, you have that like stress-free, no worry in the world. If something in my condo breaks, it's my responsibility to fix that issue. If I'm renting, I just call up my property manager, landlord, whoever, and just say, hey, this is broken, this appliance isn't working. It's their responsibility to send somebody in and fix that ASAP. When you're a homeowner, you're the one that has to do the research on finding someone to come in. You're the one that has to take the time and make sure everything's working smoothly. It's such a headache. I'll give you an example. Today, I had the unit below my condo say that they have a leak in their washroom. It's my responsibility to call a plumber, contact the property manager, and make sure it's fixed. And when you're a renter, that's not my problem. Like, my landlord will fix that problem. I'm paying rent, and that's a wrap. That's where my responsibility finishes. If I could turn back time, I would never have bought. I would have just stayed a renter. And honestly, the extra money that I would have had, I don't have to pay property taxes, I don't have to pay for repairs. Extra money, I would have poured it into investments, and future me would have been a lot better off. Just something to keep in mind. Home ownership the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Just a fruit for thought. You guys have a great day. Bye.
this video.
I became a homeowner at 22 years old, and I instantly regretted that shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you why I regretted it, though. So, I ended up putting 78,000 down on my house, right? And once you get your house, right, you become house poor, okay? Now, everybody's not gonna be house poor. I was house poor. I'm just speaking from my experience, bro. I'm young as shit, buying a house. I'm house poor at this point. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I did not really gauge all the maintenance that it took to take care of a house. On top of that, I had to put work into the house. They sold us the house, right? Sold the house with mold in it. How did I not know it was mold in it? Did you not get an inspector? Yeah, I had an inspector. This what these dirty, nasty, gritty people did. Scantless, right? They painted over the mold so thick that the detectors couldn't get it. And it didn't even smell like mold down there, nothing. It was all dry, right? So I had to go in, get the walls chopped out, get the house waterproofed, whatever that came up to. So this is just more stuff you got to come out of. But all in all, I would say that I really regretted it once I figured out how much the maintenance was, bro. And like how often you got to do certain things. And obviously it makes it a little sweeter that it's your shit and it's an investment. But for me personally, I just was not ready for that. Now the house is about to sell. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with the cash that I do get from the house. Obviously, I might invest in another property. I think that's where my head's at. But just something to like rent out or something. You know what I'm saying? Not to live in. I can't do it. I'd rather live in an apartment. I'm going to be honest. You can call me crazy all you want. But I just feel like at this point in my life, I should be living in an apartment, bro. A house is a lot.
And finally, this video.
I bought my house in 2020. And she was an older home, okay? I was a first-time home buyer. I was like really excited because homeownership, the American dream. And I was buying at like the best rates. I didn't even know what that meant, but they were like, these are the lowest rates in history. And people were like, this is a good deal. So I bought it. At the time when I bought it, I had a boyfriend who was living with me. And he was a really handy guy. And I was just like, oh, well, all the things that need to be fixed, he can just fix. He's a man. But then he left me. And so I was in that house, just me. And I'm not handy, okay, at all. Like I can barely screw in a light bulb kind of thing. So then things were breaking all the time and I had to hire somebody to come fix it all the time. And I was like, damn, this is expensive. And I can't really afford this. Like I can't afford, and I was making good money at this time. I can't afford to own this home, maintain this home, and then also keep my sanity. I can't do that. So after about a year, which was always the original plan, I put the house on Airbnb. My Airbnb journey was great, like for the first 6 months. But then of course, because things were breaking when I was living there, things were breaking even more when other people who do not live there were hanging out and their kids were there. It was definitely like a really kid-friendly home and they were just breaking stuff left and right. But eventually I was just like, you know what? I don't even know if this is worth it. And I felt like Airbnb wasn't going to be as popular the next year. So I pulled it off Airbnb. I said, I'm going to live there for a year, fix things up, and then I'll rent it again, either on Airbnb or a long-term rental. But girl, I lived in it for a year and it really like sucked the happiness and joy from me. I put so much money into this house. I wasn't even fixing it up. I was just living there. I spent so much money because there was always like a water problem, an electricity problem, some furniture that's breaking, some appliance that's breaking. And I did get a home warranty, which I would absolutely 100% recommend. But a home warranty does not mean that you're not having to pay for the appliances when they are fixed. They're just at a discounted rate. I didn't realize that either when I got the home warranty. But I have everything. I wish that was something that I would have done when I first moved in. It would have saved me so much money. So in about July of last year, I was just like, oh my God, this is it. I can't do this anymore. I'm selling this house. And it was like a really hard decision for me because just like you, I felt like this guilt, like, oh my God, I am selling my house. Most people can't even afford a house. Like I'm being so ungrateful. All I got to do is put a little work in it. But I'm telling you, like I was bleeding money. Like one month I got a water bill for $4,000 and they would not turn my water back on until I paid it in full. They didn't do a payment arrangement, nothing. They wanted that money in hand. And they're like, oh, it's probably a leak. It wasn't. No one to this day, I still don't know what happened, but I needed my water back on. So $4,000, like literally just out of my account, gone, wasted. So I put my house on the market.
I wonder what made people buy a home in the first place, because maintenance and repairs should be expected, right? Where in this process is this requirement overlooked that leads to you searching for a home, putting an offer on the home, and then closing on a home? Where are we going wrong here that after closing you have dissatisfaction in the home? Were you rushing to buy, underestimating costs, not doing any research? Is there a need for home buyer education courses or home readiness courses that should be more routine? So, how can home buyer's remorse for this reason, maintenance and repairs, be prevented? I feel you need to do your research before you even buy a home. Ask people who are homeowners what it is like to be a homeowner, what kind of costs are associated with being a homeowner, what to expect. And then that will give you an idea if that is something you would like to take on, if that is a responsibility that you would like to have. Have a budget. Have an emergency fund for the emergency repairs, and have a savings account with some savings in it for those routine maintenance that will be needed on a home. Have an inspection. Do not waive the inspection. And make sure that your contract can be nullified if you are dissatisfied with the outcome or the condition of the home. Make sure that you are able to walk away if the results of your inspection leads to dissatisfaction. Make sure the contract gives you the opportunity to ask the seller to make repairs or give you a credit for anything that is uncovered during the inspection. You pay $400 to $600 for an inspection. Be there for the inspection. Don't be in his way, but walk around with him and learn about your house that you're about to spend thousands of dollars on. He will be able to tell you about the systems, the roof, the foundation, the walls, the plumbing, the appliances, and give you an idea what condition they're in or how much life is left in them. And he can determine if the cost of those repairs or the replacement cost is something that you're willing to take on. Read the report. It's very useful for you. It'll give you an idea of the current condition of the home. Then you'll have some information about whether you want to move forward. Then there's a seller's disclosure. I know in Illinois it is required before a contract is signed that the prospective buyer receives a seller's disclosure. Now the seller's disclosure is completed by the person selling the house, and it is a list of statements where they have to disclose material defects in the home or if they are aware of any of them. There's a good tool to have before you sign a contract to give you further intel about the house that you're considering buying. There are statements such as, I'm aware of cracks in the foundation. I'm aware of leaks in the plumbing. I'm aware of issues with the roof. I'm aware of radon in my home. No, you have to review it and sign. And finally, don't rush. There's no need to rush the home buying process. This is a huge life-changing and expensive event in your life. So take your time. The home of your dreams is out there. Just take the time and get to know yourself and get to know if being a homeowner is right for you. Homeownership isn't for everybody, but don't waste anybody's time or your money buying or that you should have known that you wouldn't like. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. I'd greatly appreciate it.